Hey everyone, it's Simona here for Motivation Monday. I want to welcome everybody, especially the new members in our group. Welcome, welcome. We have a new time, and simply because we switched the time, we sprang forward in the US, but we didn't do that here in Mexico. So I wanted to move it back an hour, and I hope that's all right with everybody. I wanted to chat with you a little bit this morning because it's Motivation Monday about creating healthy habits and rituals that support you to succeed in your life and business. So when you study people that are really mega successful, like the Steve Jobs of the world, the Tony Robinses of the world, when you look at them, when you read their biographies, you will find that they all have one thing in common, and they have trained themselves to really create a successful ritual that they follow. So I don't know if you guys have watched Tony Robbins' I'm Not Your Guru. If you haven't, I highly recommend it. It's a fantastic documentary about his Date with Destiny event. It's very insightful, so much so that I am planning on going in November. And if you have seen it, then you know that Tony has a very specific ritual that he observes every morning, right? So successful people a long time ago have figured out that they need to be supported, or they need that their desired outcome needs to be supported by their spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical well-being. So what does that mean? Basically, those are the areas that support you so you can actually focus on your desired outcome, because if one of them is off, all your focus is going to go there. So let me, for instance, give you an example, right? So if you are not supported in your emotional area, for instance, with the people that are in your life, if you are in a toxic relationship specifically, then you probably have a lot of your focus that you were meant to be putting on your business taken away and focused on that area. So you have to make sure that you support yourself and you create an environment for yourself with people, places, and things that are cheering you on the way to your goal and not derailing you. So for instance, personally, I have a very specific spiritual practice that every morning I get up at 6 and I'm up on the rooftop here by 6:30, and I watch the sunrise, and then I do a little gratitude exercise and I do a little meditation, and then that sort of sets my day up. Next one is physical well-being, right? Physically, you have to exercise so that you are keeping your mind and body healthy, right? You have to nourish yourself properly, not eating junk food because you're an entrepreneur and you're working behind the laptop all day, every day. So you have to make time to cook nutritious meals for you. You have to make time for breakfast, for regular exercise, right? So my routine in the morning is I go either to spin or yoga, which keeps me healthy. And then by the time I get home around 11, I start my work day, right? The next thing is that you want to be mentally well. And what does that mean? So you want to make sure that you cultivate beliefs that are actually serving you to reach your goal. So if you have a belief system that whatever it is you're trying to achieve is hard, or that you cannot do it, automatically, what you focus on, you get more of. So you're going to make it really hard for yourself, or you're going to make it really difficult for yourself, or you're not going to reach that goal, right? And then once you have that internal representation of that belief manifests on the outside, you gain validation. So the belief is reinforced. So you actually have to look at, what are my beliefs like? And do they really support me in my endeavor of reaching the success that I desire in my life and in my business? And if not, what do I have to change when it comes to my belief system? What other beliefs do I have to adopt that actually serve me, right? So for instance, if your desired outcome, this is just hypothetically, but if your desired outcome were to be that you want to make $1 million this year, so for example's sake, you got to look at all these areas in your life, your spiritual, mental, physical, and emotional well-being. And you got to really check in with yourself, and you got to see if you are actually supported in all of these areas. If all of these areas are driving you towards reaching the outcome, your desired outcome of making that $1 million. And if not, what would you need to change right now? Like if you're in a toxic relationship, or if a relationship is sidetracking you and you're focusing all on it, then you probably have to reevaluate it and really have a conversation with your significant other and say, look, this is what I'm trying to achieve. You can either support me, or either with me or not with me. But if you're not with me, then I have to make a decision to move on and do something different. If you are unhealthy because you haven't been exercising, you might want to look at your fitness regimen and build time for that in. And a very efficient way to do that is to put it in your calendar, right? Because once it's in the calendar, you are actually doing it, unless you choose to not live by your calendar, which is another thing a successful person does. They live by their calendar. So the Oprahs of the world, right? They run multi-million-dollar companies, not just one, but multiple ones, right? Obviously, they have people that they can delegate to. However, they also live by their schedule, so that every single hour in the day is actually accounted for, and they're doing something that is productive. Mental well-being, how motivated are you? For instance, are you a procrastinator? What can get you out of motivation, out of procrastination and back into motivation? You've got to find a way that keeps you engaged, that keeps you excited, that keeps you driving towards your goal at all times. And then obviously the spiritual practice, I think, is a major milestone, because it's really about being grateful, right? Being grateful and setting up an expectation that that which it is you want is already in your possession. Because when you are grateful for something that you don't yet have, you really do set up that expectation that it's about to come in, right? So if you want to make $1 million this year, and again, it's just an example, it could be 10,000, it could be 50,000. Be grateful for it. Do a morning gratitude exercise. Be grateful. Give thanks in advance that you already have it. Hi, Salma, how are you? And set up that expectation that it's actually going to come into your life, right? Because when you do that, you are drawing more positive things to you, and you're not going to be focused on lack or the things that you don't have. So you cultivate a mindset of abundance. So all these areas, spiritual well-being, mental well-being, emotional well-being, and physical well-being are really important habits that successful people have cultivated, and that enables them to reach their desired goals each time. The other thing that I want to point out is everybody in this group, me included, we have people that we admire, right, that are successful. So model their excellence. Look at how they are doing the thing they do, and then model that. Demand excellence of yourself and other people. Model what your people that you admire are doing, and become successful that way, because what you see in others is in you. That means if you can recognize a certain level of greatness in another person, that means it's in you, and you can achieve the same level of success. So I want you to let that sink in, right? These areas are really important to have daily rituals and to follow them, right? For me, I get up at 6, it's difficult, yes, because I also end up staying up till midnight. However, when that alarm goes off in the morning, and it's a song that really makes me jump out of bed, because that's what I require to get motivated, right, in the morning, to not hit the snooze button, I get out, I shower, hot and then cold, right, and then I start my day. So cultivate habits that support you in achieving your desired outcomes. I also wanted to say that I'm going to be doing more trainings in this group. I know we're doing the live streams now, Fridays and Mondays. Monday about motivation, setting up your week properly. And Friday actually is the spotlight, where we feature a entrepreneurs in the group where you guys have an opportunity to talk about what it is you do and introduce yourselves to your peers. So I'm thinking about doing more business specific trainings in the group, maybe on a Wednesday going forward, just really short and sweet. And I think the first one that I want to do is how to do a profit and loss analysis, because that is really important in business, right? That you know how much do you need to bring in, how much is what you're creating costing you, and how can you be in the black at the end of the day, at the end of the month. So a lot of people, it's a very simple and very specific formula. It's one of the core pillars of marketing. You must know what it's going to cost you to market or to create your product or service, and then what it is you need to sustain yourself financially every month. So I'm going to do a training on that very, very shortly. And if you have any specific topics, marketing or mindset related, that you would like me to do a training on, I would encourage you to comment below. Anything really, it can be about anything in those areas, and we'll talk about it, right? Because this is the purpose of the mastermind. It's so that you learn, right? That you learn things that you can then apply in your business so you can be successful. So that's it for today. I want to wish everybody a fantastic start into the week, and I will be with you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.